Hello everyone, welcome to Elliott Wave YouTube channel. This is Henry and today is Friday, October 7. The time is around 2 a.m. GMT. Today we're going to be looking at the chart of the Dow. This is Dow Futures, YM, 60 minutes chart. Now we can see right here that we ended W. This is intermediate degree at 28,646. Currently doing the wave X rally in the form of a zigzag EBC. Okay, and we finished the first leg A here. Now looking to do possibly a bearish pullback in the B, and then as long as we stay above here, we can go up again C to finish the X, and then once the X is completed, of course we're gonna go down again, eventually gonna break below 28,646 again. All right, so this is sort of the expected short-term path. But as always, we need to understand the bigger picture if we want to be successful in trading, right? Instead of just looking at the 1 hour and thinking every single move here in the shorter cycle will play out exactly according to this, which is not the case. We need to understand the bigger picture, what we expect in the bigger picture, and so on. Okay, so let's zoom out to the daily time frame and trying to understand the pattern on the structure in the larger time frame. I will copy some of the labels here in the 1 hour into the daily time frame. Okay, so I'm going to copy the C, W, and A and B into the daily, and that's exactly where we are here. CW here, CW, and AB, C finishing X. If you look at the daily, this is where it is the same as the one that you see in the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so let's try to make sense of this count just based on this limited information. Okay, if this is the C, then you can conclude this must be in the A and the B. Okay, and then that means we're doing the ABC starting from August 16. Right now, if we look at this chart here, we have two major high, right? You notice if I just simply use trend line of some kind, this is your mid swing, so to speak. So this looks to be a cycle, and this looks to be another cycle, and this looks to be another cycle. So you have 3 cycles from the all-time high on January 2022, right? This is January 5th 2022. Okay, so this is the all-time high. All right, so you can see we got a lower low, which is a bearish sequence, and we have not reached the ideal on the minimum target, which is always going to be in the 100%, right? So we just simply measure it like this. You see we have not reached the 27,022, which is the real ideal target on the downside when this leg is going to be equal. Okay, so this one does have a bearish sequence. So as long as we stay below this trend line, this rally is nothing. It's just a counter trend, right? It's just a counter trend and looking for the downside. So that's the main takeaway, is that the right side is still to the downside. So it doesn't matter what the 1 hour time frame, because there is so many different variations in the 1 hour that I can come up right, which results in the same thing, that eventually, as long as we stay below this August 16, we should see more downside break below this previous low. Now, one possible variations, for example, is I can call it this way easily, right? I can call this 1, 2, and I can call this 3 here, and then even though this one you might think, well, it is a 5 ways, therefore we need to have another leg higher, right? No, not necessarily. If I put 3 here, I can call this ABC flat. I can call this ABC flat, and then it finish with 4 here and go down. So remember, the right side is to the downside. So I do not need another leg higher because the right side is on the downside. I can always have a different kind of view, degree and count, calling it like this. So we can actually go down immediately like this in a 5 waves and maybe ending A, right? So you can call this as, let's say, W here in the higher degree. So this would be your W, this would be your X, and then now you're in the wave Y, but the wave Y could be in the form of ABC, or it could be in the form of WXY, right? It could be in this form or in the form of a ABC, right? So as you can see, there are many different ways which all leads to more downside. Now the primary view is this one at this point, okay, so calling for possibly 3-ish rally, but because of the right side is lower, that 3-ish rally, if it really happened, it should fail in 3 swings for another leg down. So this 3 waves in the form of ABC, when it really happens, this really is most likely is going to fail for the downside later on. If it happens like this, alternate, like I said, could be 1 2 3 4 5. Now in the shorter cycle, it has even more alternates. Now for example, I could place 3 4 here, I could place 5 here, and instead of A here, I could call A here, and then that means I could have an expanded flat here, which means we might see a little bit more downside and finish the P immediately and then go up immediately. So the key takeaway is not necessarily to believe every single swing here, especially in the lower time frame, is going to play out exactly swing by swing, up and down, right? It's never going to happen like that. There is always a couple of possibilities, right? So this is another good possibility. It's like, this is absolutely possible. We can have an expanded flat and go up. Does it mean the forecast is wrong? Do you have to have a perfect forecast in every single time frame? Not necessarily. As long as you understand what the right side is, what is the eventual outcome, which direction you should be trying to be on. So as long as you understand that, you understand that especially in the lower time frame, we will have a couple of options, but really it doesn't change the overall idea, right? The overall idea is, if we can see a 3-ish rally, that 3-ish rally, which is in the form of ABC, is going to fail. It's going to fail for further downside. Why? Because of the bearish sequence, right? When we look at the larger time frame, okay? So of course in the shorter cycle, we're going to keep updating, not here because YouTube is free and chart of the day is random, but if you want to get more regular updates, especially in the shorter time frame, you can always check our service. We have 14 days trial. The link is in the description of the video. So I'll see you all again next time, and we also have other instrument, other group as well, not just indices. We have stocks, ETF, Forex, cryptos, and basically all asset categories, okay, if you want to check out our service. So I'll see you again next week. Have a nice weekend, everyone.